Happy Friday morning, Boilers. It's November 3rd, and I'm Bella Warren.
And I'm Keenan Taylor. Thank you so much for joining us. Here's a look at this week's top stories from around the globe. Body camera video showing 29-year-old Tyre Nichols violently beaten by Memphis police officers following a traffic stop. Nichols died in the hospital from his injuries.
One of the officers pleaded guilty to 2 of the 4 charges he was facing Thursday. CNN's Emily Schmidt has more on why Nichols' family called this, quote, a great day.
To be inside a Memphis courtroom Thursday, a lawyer for Tyre Nichols' family says, to see justice for Nichols unfolding.
What we witnessed was the most dramatic moment possible in American policing today. Today, you are seeing the tide turn.
Because unlike in February, when 5 former Memphis police officers charged with Nichols' death were arraigned and pleaded not guilty together, in this court appearance, Desmond Mills Jr. alone agreed to plead guilty to 2 of the federal charges he faced: obstruction of justice and use of excessive force.
The message is being sent clear today that you will be held accountable.
Nichols' family attorney Ben Crump says it's the first domino to fall. In exchange for the plea, Mills will testify against the 4 other defendants.
If he deviates from that, if he does not cooperate, or if he provides anything less than truthful testimony, then the deal is off.
Even though Tyre Nichols' mother had watched video of her son's beating, she said court was also difficult.
I'm hoping his conscience is telling him the right thing to do instead of his attorneys.
He failed to act in a way that he knows he should have acted. But immediately upon understanding that, he's begun to cooperate.
I'm Emily Schmidt, reporting.
Prosecutors will recommend 15-year federal and state sentences simultaneously. A judge will have the final say. Mills' plea agreement will resolve both federal and state charges. He also agreed to cooperate in the federal civil rights investigation of the Memphis Police Department.
House Speaker Mike Johnson vowed on Sunday to move forward with a $14 billion plus Israel package when the House returns later this week. The bill would be separate from any legislation on aid to Ukraine. This sets up a showdown with the Democratic-controlled Senate and White House. Democrats want to link Israel and Ukraine because Ukraine aid on its own faces an uncertain path in the GOP-led House. Last week, Johnson said he supports Ukraine aid but needs conditions on it.
Well, listen, we're going to move a standalone Israel funding bill this week in the House. I know our colleagues, our Republican colleagues in the Senate have a similar measure. We believe that that is a pressing and urgent need. There are lots of things going on around the world that we have to address, and we will. But right now, what's happening in Israel takes the immediate attention, and I think we've got to separate that and get it through. I believe there'll be bipartisan support for that, and I'm going to push very hard for it.
The GOP-led bill rescinds $14.3 billion that had been allocated to the IRS. This first week of the Johnson-led House comes as government funding is set to run out next month. That sets up an immediate test of the Louisiana Republicans' ability to move appropriation bills and aid to Israel.
It's starting to feel like fall here at Purdue, but it may start to get warmer in the coming days. Fast Track Live's Julia Prickett joins us in the studio to see if we need to bundle up next week. Hey there, Julia.
Hey, Bella and Keenan. So for today, thankfully, you may not have to bundle up, but it's certainly going to be a breezy day. Today, high of 56 degrees with a low of 43 here in West Lafayette on Purdue's campus. Wind speeds anywhere from 14 to 18 miles per hour coming from the south-southwest, with gusts being produced up to 30. So for your hourly forecast for today, as you can see, noon right now, 48 degrees being your high right for noon. And then as we transition more into the afternoon and evening hours, we'll increase in some temperatures, getting to our high of the day about 55 degrees. Again, sustained winds coming from the south-southwest anywhere from 15 to 20 miles per hour with gusts in the 30s. By our overnight hours, we'll drop down to the mid-40s, and then overall, it's going to be a breezy day. So I'll talk about it more in my full forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Back to Bella and Keenan.
Thank you, Julia. Turning over to national news, Ivanka Trump is set to take the stand next week in her father's civil fraud trial in New York.
God bless America, and God bless each and every one of you for being. On behalf of my co-chair, Secretary Ross, and the entire American Workforce Policy Advisory Board, it's an honor to have.
Donald Trump's eldest daughter will appear in court on November 8th. She was initially set to appear November 3rd. Ivanka Trump has been listed as a co-defendant along with her two brothers, her father, and several other Trump Organization executives in the $250 million fraud lawsuit filed by New York Attorney General Letitia James. The New York attorney has alleged the group was involved in a years-long scheme that the former president and his eldest children used for monetary gain. In June, Ivanka Trump was dismissed as a co-defendant due to a statute of limitations. She had argued that should mean she's not forced to testify, a motion denied by the judge. Her father, former President Donald Trump, is scheduled to take the stand Monday. The Attorney General's team said they expect to rest their case after completion of Ivanka Trump's testimony.
The Flint Water Prosecution Team says it's ended its efforts to, quote, hold those responsible for the Flint water crisis accountable for their actions. This comes after an order from the Michigan Supreme Court filed Tuesday denied an appeal of a lower court decision dismissing misdemeanor charges against former Michigan Governor Rick Snyder. Flint's water problems can be traced back to 2014 when city and state officials switched the city's water supply from the Detroit water system to the contaminated Flint River in an effort to cut costs. It exposed residents to extremely high levels of lead and prompted more than a dozen lawsuits against those involved. Snyder apologized in 2016 for the state's role in the crisis. Last year, a court ordered the misdemeanor criminal charges against Snyder be dismissed. A report by the Flint Water Prosecution Team detailing the prosecution's efforts is expected to be released in 2024.
Mortgage rates have broken a 7-week streak of increasing following the Federal Reserve's pledge to steady interest rates Wednesday. Freddie Mac data released Thursday shows the 30-year fixed-rate mortgage averaged 7.76% in the week ending November 2nd. That's down from 7.79% the week before. A year ago, the average rate was just under 7%. This data comes just a couple of days after the Federal Reserve said it would leave its benchmark lending rate where it is, but hasn't ruled out a hike before the year's end. Up next, a groundbreaking treatment for sickle cell disease could be approved by the Food and Drug Administration in the coming weeks.
How new technology could help thousands of patients, coming up after this quick break.
Being involved in the 3-year program at Purdue made it easier to say to myself I could get done in 3 years. The 3-year program helped save me a ton of money. Not completing my 4th year, I would save around $30,000. It will give you an advantage, if anything. Doing the 3-year program at Purdue has shown me that I have motivation to do whatever it takes to get my degree.
Hi there, my name is Vikram Jaithlak, and I'm the founder and president of the Purdue chapter of the University Blood Initiative. Over the past 2 years, we've been able to collect over 300 pints of blood to be donated to local hospitals, and you can be the next one to help out.
I donate my blood at the University Blood Initiative.
Hi, I just donated blood through the University Blood Initiative.
Hi, I just donated blood through the University Blood Initiative at Purdue.
Right, I donated my blood through the University Blood Initiative at Purdue.
And I donated my blood at University Blood Initiative at Purdue.
Are you looking for a new hobby?
Or you want to have a fun evening with your friends?
Then come climb to new heights at the Co-Rec Climbing Wall.
Football. It's the best time of the year. You know what else is great? The world's largest and fastest mascot. You can't have Purdue football without the trains. Look for the Reamer Club outside Stewart Center, 12 to 5 p.m. on Fridays before home football games, for your chance to ride the Boilermaker Special for free. See you then!
Welcome back. Another look at your forecast for today here in West Lafayette on Purdue's campus. Partly cloudy skies with a high of 56 degrees and a low of 43. We have wind speeds anywhere from 14 to 18 miles per hour with gusts up to 30. So it's certainly going to be a breezy day on Purdue's campus. Now again for your hourly forecast for noon today, 48 degrees. We'll start to increase in temperatures by our afternoon and early evening hours, hitting our high of the day of 55 degrees for Friday. We'll stay pretty consistent, have that sustained wind anywhere from 15 to 20 miles per hour with gusts up to 30 again. And for our overnight hours, we'll be back in the 40s. So for this weekend, the Purdue Boilermakers take on the Michigan Wolverines, the number 2 ranked 6-0 football team, as they head to Ann Arbor. So let's take a look at our forecast. So 10 o'clock in the morning, 44 degrees in Michigan. Will increase in temperatures for the most part, about 53 degrees being our high for the day. By kickoff at 7:30, 49 degrees with possible isolated showers that could impact game time. And by our overnight hours, we'll be back in the mid-40s in Michigan. Now back here in West Lafayette, again to recap for Friday, 56 degrees being our high with a low of 43. By Saturday, we'll be back in the 60s, 60 for Saturday, 61 for Sunday as we fall back and set back our clocks for Sunday. Now taking a look at our national forecast, as you can see across the United States, we have a variety of systems moving through. A high pressure system will impact the Midwest, bringing us some isolated showers and rain chances come the middle of next week. So let's go ahead and look at our 7-day forecast one more time. For Friday, again, to recap, a high of 56 degrees. Saturday and Sunday will be in the mid-60s. Take advantage of this nice weather while we have it. And Sunday, don't forget to set back your clocks as well an hour. And for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, possible shower chances the next 4 days. 65 degrees for Monday, 50s for Tuesday. And by Wednesday, that's our next best chance of widespread rain overall across the United States as a whole. And then by Thursday, we'll see partly cloudy skies with a high of 51 degrees and a low of 39. And our next best chance of rain comes at the end of next weekend. Now back to Bella and Keenan at the anchor desk.
Thank you, Julia. Turning over to health news, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration is one step closer to approving a groundbreaking new treatment for sickle cell disease.
Advisors to the FDA met Tuesday to discuss a therapy that uses a genetic modification process called CRISPR. Doctors fix the genetic problems in the patient's own stem cells and then gives those cells back to the patient in a one-time infusion. In company studies, the treatment was considered safe. Right now, the only therapy approved to cure the blood disease is a bone marrow or stem cell transplant. The FDA is expected to make a decision in December.
It's the leading cause of cancer deaths in the U.S., but today, the American Cancer Society released new guidelines for lung cancer screenings. The organization is now recommending nearly 5 million more adults who smoke or used to smoke to be tested. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gather has a look at the updated guidance.
It's a potentially deadly disease. Lung cancer kills more people in the U.S. than colon, breast, and prostate cancers combined, but early detection can save lives.
Only about 5% of those that are eligible for lung cancer screening actually are being screened.
Previously, the recommendation was for anyone between the ages of 50 to 80 with at least a 20-pack per year smoking history who currently smoke cigarettes or quit within the past 15 years to be screened annually for lung cancer. But the American Cancer Society is now advising doctors to remove that time since quit criteria.
What we found was that while there was initially sort of a decrease or leveling of a risk of lung cancer, as a patient ages, their risk of lung cancer increases significantly.
Dr. William Dayhut says this update will make it easier to know who should be screened for lung cancer.
People don't have to sort of calculate when someone quits smoking. And by changing our guidelines, we're actually going to increase the number of eligible patients by about 37%. And which means by about 5 million more Americans will now be eligible for lung cancer screening.
The screening is a quick low-dose CT scan of the chest, since coverage is largely driven by screening recommendations from the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force, and that agency has not currently adopted this update. Insurance may or may not cover lung cancer screenings based on this updated ACS guideline, but Dayhut hopes that will change.
We're hopeful that once our guidelines are in place, people will look at the value of that.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The American Cancer Society says if lung cancer is found early, the chances of being cured are much higher. And there are new drugs and treatments that can help improve chance of survival as well. President Biden issued an executive order on artificial intelligence Monday. The order is aimed at keeping AI's power constrained and holding the technology developers accountable. According to the White House, it will require developers to share results of their safety tests with the government before they are released to the public. In addition, the order compels companies to notify the government if an AI model in development poses national security, economic, or health risks. Also part of the order, easing immigration barriers for skilled workers to study and stay in the U.S., establishing standards to prevent AI production of dangerous biological materials, and developing best practices to minimize the risk of displacing human workers.
General Motors joined Ford and Chrysler's parent company, Stellantis, in reaching a tentative deal with auto workers after a nearly 2-month strike Monday. A total of nearly 50,000 workers walked out of their jobs during some part of the strike. They were demanding better benefits and pay, citing the auto industry's record corporate profits. While the exact terms of the deal have not yet been released, guaranteed pay increases are expected, and the return of cost of living adjustments, all combined, that would lift workers' pay more than 30%.
A lot is going on in the world of sports, including the upcoming Baseball World Series and a huge upset for the Kansas City Chiefs. Plus, a former Boilermaker is climbing the ranks in football. Don't go away. We will be right back after this quick timeout.
The Center for C-SPAN, which is this organization, the CCSC, what we do is we facilitate like a bunch of organizations, different programs for Brian Lamb, which is the founder of C-SPAN. Anyone can be part of CCSC, whether it be through our various internships, our competitions, just to be involved, even like our student community meetings that we have every week. Anyone can go, you don't have to be communications or poli-sci. You just meet so many people, the connections you make is kind of crazy, the range that CCSC has. So yeah, it's just provided me so many opportunities to like kind of achieve the goals I have personally and forward to like whatever career paths I choose.
Imagine a world where Olympics and Paralympics are unified as one, and where all athletes at all levels have equal opportunities to play and perform at their full potential.
Athletics has been such an influential and transformative aspect of my life. So to me, RISE is about ensuring that every person that has the desire to participate in sport has the opportunity to do so.
This organization is about recognition. We believe in recognizing excellence where it is found, especially in Paralympic sports.
RISE is about driving change in our community and beyond. We hope that through our events and initiatives, we can galvanize people for our cause and inspire them to create an ever-growing network to help achieve our mission.
It's about connecting people of various backgrounds and who truly care about creating meaningful change together.
we develop projects and hold events to bring people together at the interface of inclusivity, sports, and engineering.
Our goal is to promote the equality of all sports and to improve sports performance and accessibility.
Join us so that you can have a major contribution in creating meaningful change.
I'm John Waterworth. Welcome to Fast Track Sports. The Texas Rangers clinched the franchise's first World Series title Wednesday. The Rangers defeated the Arizona Diamondbacks 5-0 in Game 5 of the 2023 World Series. The game was scoreless through 6 innings. But the Rangers ultimately won the best-of-7 series 4 games to 1 after scoring 5 unanswered in the final 3 innings. The Rangers were led offensively by Corey Seager, who won an MVP of the World Series. Seager hit .286 with 3 home runs. The Rangers were able to win despite injuries to ace pitcher Max Scherzer and ALC's MVP Adolis Garcia. With the Rangers' title win, 5 teams in Major League Baseball have yet to win the World Series. The Colorado Rockies, Milwaukee Brewers, Seattle Mariners, Tampa Bay Rays, and San Diego Padres. In football news, a major upset. The Denver Broncos defeated the Kansas City Chiefs 24-9 on Sunday, snapping a 16-game losing streak against their AFC West rivals. This marks the first time the Broncos have beaten the Chiefs in 8 years. The Broncos' victory was led by quarterback Russell Wilson, who threw 3 touchdown passes. Justin Simmons contributed to the win with 2 of Denver's 5 takeaways. The Broncos' defense also played a crucial role containing Chiefs star quarterback Patrick Mahomes and preventing even a single touchdown from the 2-time Super Bowl MVP. The Broncos celebrated their victory in a unique way, playing Taylor Swift's Shake It Off in the arena. This was a jab at the Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce, who is dating the pop star. This victory brings the Broncos' season record to 3-5, while the Chiefs drop to 6-2. The win has given the Broncos and their fans a boost of confidence as they head into their bye week, while the Chiefs will face off with the Dolphins, who are also coming off a big win. It's no secret that the Boilermakers have been less than impressive this season. However, one former Boilermaker is giving Purdue fans something to cheer about. Dolphins running back Raheem Mostert is currently leading the entire NFL in rushing touchdowns. Mostert played for the Boilermakers from 2011 to 2014. Fans likely remember him as a wide receiver. He wasn't a running back until his senior year when he rushed 529 yards. Mostert was also, excuse me, I'm a little sick. Mostert also ran track-winning gold medals in the 60-meter dash and 200-meter dash. Mostert is a great example of hard work paying off as he went undrafted and signed a free agent contract with the Cleveland Browns. He bounced around the league, playing for 5 teams in 2 years, and finally found a home in San Francisco, where he played for 6 years in an off-the-bench type role. He joined the Dolphins last season, where he rushed for a career-high 891 yards. Now at age 31, he's really broken out. Hopefully he can keep up the momentum for seasons to come. Legendary Hall of Fame basketball coach Bobby Knight has died. According to his family, the former IU basketball coach passed away on Wednesday at the age of 83. He was one of the sport's winningest, yet more polarizing figures. Knight won 902 games as a college coach, leading teams at Army, IU, and Texas Tech. It was at IU where he and the Hoosiers won a school record 661 games and made 24 NCAA tournament appearances. The Hoosiers won 3 national championships in his 29 years at the school. He retired from the college game in 2008. The world is still in shock following former Friends star Matthew Perry's shocking death. How fans are paying their respect? Coming up after this short break.
Imagine a world where Olympics and Paralympics are unified as one, and where all athletes at all levels have equal opportunities to play and perform at their full potential.
Athletics has been such an influential and transformative aspect of my life. So to me, RISE is about ensuring that every person that has the desire to participate in sport has the opportunity to do so.
This organization is about recognition. We believe in recognizing excellence where it is found, especially in Paralympic sports.
RISE is about driving change in our community and beyond. We hope that through our events and initiatives, we can galvanize people for our cause and inspire them to create an ever-growing network to help achieve our mission.
It's about connecting people of various backgrounds and who truly care about creating meaningful change together.
We develop projects and hold events to bring people together at the interface of inclusivity, sports, and engineering.
Our goal is to promote the equality of all sports and to improve sports performance and accessibility.
Join us so that you can have a major contribution in creating meaningful change.
On Fast Track News, a student using a wheelchair gets locked out of one of the university's largest buildings. She talks to Fast Track News about waiting an hour in the rain for the door to be fixed.
Plus, a look at your weekend forecasts and Purdue men and women's preseason hoops. That's all coming up in about an hour right here on the Purdue channel. Or check us out on YouTube.
Welcome back. I'm Anna Kudo here with your entertainment news. Matthew Perry, best known for his role as Chandler Bing on the hit sitcom Friends, died on Saturday at the age of 54. The actor was found unresponsive in his hot tub at his Pacific Palisades home, with his cause of death still unknown. An autopsy was performed and LA County's medical examiner's office is awaiting toxicology results, but have confirmed that his initial tests showed no signs of meth or fentanyl in the actor's system. The news of Perry's death has left the nation in shock. Despite his public battles with addiction and health issues, his passing is still a mark on what people are able to overcome and has left many grappling with the grief that comes when someone passes. Perry's death is not only a loss for the entertainment industry, but also for fans worldwide who adored him. His portrayal of Chandler Bing on Friends brought joy to millions of viewers, making him an iconic figure in pop culture. Fans of Matthew Perry left flowers, handwritten notes, and other mementos outside an apartment building on the west side of New York City that was often featured on Friends. Taylor Swift has a new album that came out last week. Rick Damigella tells us about it and more in a musical Hollywood Minute.
Taylor Swift continues to shake it off. Swift has just released 1989 Taylor's version, the fourth in her series of re-recorded albums following a dispute with her former record label. Swift released the new version exactly 9 years to the day of the original album. That's Grammy nominee Stu Brooks performing Everything She Wants. The bassist, composer, and producer has collaborated with the likes of Katy Perry, 50 Cent, and Danny Elfman, but his new album, 40 Hertz, marks his solo recording debut.
I'm sort of in an amazing situation where I have an opportunity to make a record exactly how I want it. So each song has a different feature with a vocalist or producer or instrumentalist. And there were no restraints, you know, we could do anything we wanted. Get animated. Just in time for spooky season, the band has released its 16th studio album, Dance Macabre. The new set of songs is Halloween-themed, featuring a blend of new tracks, updates of Duran classics, and covers, including Billie Eilish's Bury a Friend and the Rolling Stones' Paint It Black. Celebrating spooky season in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.